Okay, so with this, let's move on to learning objective 1. We've already done most of it, to be honest. Enumerate following for the $COP domain: users, computers, domain admins, enterprise admins. We've already seen that. We've also looked at Bloodhound to identify the shortest path to domain admins. Which was this. This one. Okay. Spend some time. Spend some time going through the Bloodhound UI. You'll find some of the things that are very interesting here. Now, what we have not run right now is find a file share where student X, where X is your student ID. So wherever in the course you see student X or machine X, that means your own student PM. So we need to find a file share where student X has write permissions. So for that, if I go to this one, get domain computer, we first need to create a list of servers. So I'll use this. However, the first machine in a domain is always going to be domain controller. And recall that we don't want to do any sort of assembly enumeration on the DC. So I'll leave the first one, copy rest of it, and create a file called servers.txt. Now, recall that this PowerShell session that we have here is started using InvisiShell, so there is no enhanced logging here. Therefore, we'll go ahead and load PowerHunt shares and start it. We don't want to ping any of the servers. We want the output to be saved in the CAD tools directory. And we would like to run it only against the list of servers that we have created. So it is going to target the 9 systems that we have shared. The question is SMB enumeration like that can have an impact on servers in real environment? Oh, not really. Not really, unless it is a very fragile machine for some matter, it won't. Usually it won't. So yeah, we can leave it running. It may take its own sweet time. What we will get once the share enumeration is completed is that there are some file shares, specifically one that stands out is a file share called AI, of course, on the DCOP CI machine. So I'll come back to that once this is done. So this is expected, by the way, these errors. And let me actually show you that right away. This is the server, this is the share on DCORP CI that we would be interested in. The report is written here. Let's take a look at that. Okay, I had a previous one as well. It was the previous run. Please note that if you want to run this summary report, you have to copy it to your host machine because it fetches some images from the internet. So it needs internet access, won't run on the student VM. Right? However, we do get that there is a share called AI that we may like to take a look at. Or let me, while we are at it, let me quickly show you this. So this is what we get. This is pretty interesting to look at. You can filter it based on share names, let's say. You can even take a look at the share graph here, using graph in case of shares. So for example, you can see that on Dcop CI, we have interesting shares where everyone has access. Everyone has privilege on a share called AI. See that? On Dcop CI, there is a share called AI where everyone has privilege. That is interesting right away. So spend some time playing with this tool. This is going to be a pretty interesting one. That was our learning objective one. So we not only got started with domain enumeration with this, we went on, we also took a look at Bloodhound. We also enumerated file shares. We also discussed that that is going to be pretty noisy if we do not remove domain controllers. Even if we remove domain controllers in high maturity security environments, it may still get detected. What is the way around to not scan more than, let's say, 10 or 20 machines at a time, which will take very long in huge enterprise environments? But that's the way.